The United Arab Emirates promised to plant 10 mangrove trees for every visitor who will attend the upcoming climate change conference in Dubai in November. Grateru Omori reports.
The UAE is set to host the conference of the parties of the UNFCCC, more commonly referred to as Cop28, in November. The event is set to attract about 80,000 attendees from around the world. The Gulf state announced an ambitious target ahead of the international gathering by promising to plant 10 mangrove trees for every attendee. The 2023 United Nations Climate Change Conference will be held between November 30 to December 12, 2023 at Expo City, Dubai. The ambitious pledge could mean that an estimated 800,000 mangrove trees could be planted in Abu Dhabi after the event. The mangrove trees will be planted in coastal areas during the winter months, which is said to be the best time for the species to grow. The Environment Agency Abu Dhabi said local officials will plant the mangroves using drone technology in the last quarter of the year. The pledge is part of the UAE National Net Zero 2050 initiative and the country's goal of planting 100 million mangroves by 2030. Reporting from Dubai, this has been Grateru Omori, SMNI News, United Arab Emirates.
Saudi Arabia and Russia, two of the world's largest exporters of oil, have extended voluntary oil production cuts until the end of the year. Melchizedek Cadiz has the details.
Oil prices jumped after Saudi Arabia and Russia announced the extension of oil production cuts until December 2023. Riyadh will extend its 1 million barrel per day voluntary oil production cut, while Moscow will reduce its oil exports by 300,000 barrels per day until the end of the year. U.S. President Joe Biden last year warned Saudi Arabia of unspecified consequences for partnering with Russia on oil production cuts amid an ongoing war with Ukraine. Meanwhile, the oil-rich kingdom pledged to monitor the market and could take further action if necessary. Saudi Arabia first implemented the 1 million barrel per day cut in July and has extended it every month since then. Reporting, this has been Melchizedek Cadiz, SMNI News, Kuwait.
China's foreign ministry has indicated that Chinese President Xi Jinping will not attend the upcoming G20 summit in India this weekend. Sasha Hasa reports.
Chinese Premier Li Qiang will lead the delegation representing China at the G20 summit this weekend. Chinese President Xi Jinping will skip the international gathering of world leaders for the first time since the summit was held in 2008. Li is considered as China's second-ranking leader. The premier and other Chinese delegates will represent the country for the two-day G20 summit on September 9 and 10 in the Indian capital of New Delhi. The ministry announced Xi's absence from the international gathering as tensions simmer between China and the host country India over their disputed border and New Delhi's growing ties with the United States. Both countries are also members of the grouping of fast-emerging economies known as BRICS. Russian President Vladimir Putin will also skip the summit. He will be represented instead by Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. As international observers presumed Xi's absence from the event as a snub to India, China's Foreign Affairs Ministry has not indicated the exact reason for Xi's non-attendance to the international gathering of world leaders. The G20 summit consists of the world's 19 wealthiest countries plus the European Union. The bloc accounts for 80% of the global gross domestic product or GDP and about two-thirds of the world population. Reporting from Sydney, this has been Sasha Hasa, SMNI News, Australia.